Hi, my name is Olga Sirbu. I'm a board-certified behavior analyst and licensed behavior analyst. And in this video, I will talk about property destruction behavior in children with autism. But before we start, as always, I would like to encourage you to put a like on this video and hit the subscribe button below so you can benefit from weekly information on the subject of autism. Property destruction behavior is a concept often used in applied behavior analysis to describe behaviors that involve actions like breaking, throwing, or damaging objects, which can be a way for children with autism to cope with frustration, sensory overload, or communication difficulties. This behavior is not specific to children on the spectrum and can be observed among neurotypical children as well. From my personal experience, I can say that the property destruction may have different functions. A child may throw toys, books to gain an adult's attention. Hello, I'm here, look at me. May swipe everything from the table because wants to get away from that environment. I'm going to destroy everything if you don't let me get out from here. May throw an item because doesn't want that item and wants something different instead. And may throw objects because they simply like to watch them fall and are experiencing internal pleasure from this process. It's a fact. One behavior may have different functions and sometimes may have multiple functions. So, why am I telling you all this? Because I want you to understand that there is not one universal method or strategy for a behavior, and that every person and their behaviors need to be treated individually. And the strategy that works for one child property destruction behavior may not work for another child property destruction behavior because it has a different function. If I throw toys because I am hungry and I don't want to play but I want to eat, and the parent gives me an iPad to play with instead, that will not stop me from throwing. Now I may even throw the iPad. So, before deciding on methods and strategies to reduce property destruction behavior, the first thing we need to do is to understand the cause of the behavior and the triggers. After identifying the cause, you will come with a plan of actions that could help you prevent the problem behavior or use the most efficient strategy to react to the behavior in a way that will not increase the property destruction in the future. The second suggestion, after identifying the cause, is to think, what can I do to prevent my child from throwing things? And here you may decide to play more with your child if you think he is throwing for attention. You may decide to read books and watch videos that could teach your child when we use throwing behavior and with what items. You may decide to introduce different games and activities that involve throwing, such as ball, catch, flying kites, or aeroplanes. You may rearrange your child's room and put away certain toys or items that trigger the throwing behavior in your child. The third suggestion is adding that predictability in your child's routine through the use of visual schedule. Use the visual schedule to inform the child what to expect for the day and what behavior is expected from them as well. I do recommend using visual with children on the spectrum, verbal or non-verbal. Every child can benefit from them. I use and I am still using visuals with every client and with my child as well. And the result is less behaviors, less miscommunication, and more positive interactions. Visuals can be used in multiple ways and in different situations. You may involve your child in planning the date right from early morning by asking them to pick the activities for the day and the order in which they will be completed. You may offer choices of items and activities throughout the day by using images. Or you may use visuals as a reminder of the activities that need to be completed. So, visuals and visual schedule can be used as a method to prevent a behavior from happening and as a reactive strategy to remind your child of the expected behavior. The fourth suggestion: always have a plan of action and reaction in mind for those instances when your antecedent preventing strategies will fail. Here, you'll try to find the answer to the question: what should I do when my child froze? What should I do when the behavior is happening? Of course, the reactive strategies here may vary based on the function of the behavior. You may decide to ignore the throwing behavior and work on teaching your child how to gain your attention by tapping your arm, leg, or shoulder instead of throwing. You may decide to work on functional communication by teaching your child to request for an item through pointing, guidance, or through reaching. You may use picture exchange or AC devices. You may decide to use reinforcer to teach an alternative behavior. For example, to use the child's favorite toys, activities, or snacks to teach them to clean all the items that were thrown. You may use as a reactive strategy blocking and redirecting to the appropriate item, activity that are designed for throwing. So, key path of thinking for you when a problem behavior is occurring is: how do I want my child to act instead? What behavior do I want my child to engage in instead of throwing things? The answer to this question will vary, but once you decide what you will work on and what behavior you will teach, focus on that and do teach that alternative behavior. Remember, you can't just take away something without giving something back. You can't just take away the behavior of throwing and leaving a hole. You need to be able to fill in that hole with the new, positive, and socially acceptable behavior. And the last suggestion that I know you are all familiar with is: be patient. Don't rush into reacting. Take your time to assess the situation and take the best decision that will not strengthen your child's property distraction behavior. Your goal should be teaching, not preaching. Don't focus on what is done wrong, but what can you do to make it right? What can you teach? I hope the presented information will be useful to all the parents, relative, caretakers, therapists of children with autism. Please don't forget to talk to me through your comments to this video. Thank you and see you in the next video.